How's it going, everyone? So today we're going to go over some leaks about the new mode that is going to come to Nightreign. Hopefully it's going to come to Nightreign soon, maybe in the DLC. It's called the Deep of Night. We're going to watch this video right here. A link to the description of this whole video. They go over the boss fights and leaks about that. I don't want to get spoiled with it, so I'm not going to go over that. I want to go to these boss fights just like you all, fresh, and just be awed by it instead of getting spoiled about mechanics and stuff like that. I just want to figure it out on the go because I find more fun in that. So let's dive deeper into the Deep of Night. It's something that interests me and I love this game, and just having more things to do in this game is a major plus. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, give a subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. So without further ado, let's get it.
Alright, so like I said in the last video, we broke down this new leak about this new mode called Deep of Night. And pretty much all we had at the time of that video were the text documents that referenced it and the stages of rank called Depth. Now, if you missed that video, here are the text documents that were uncovered.
Let's read it.
And essentially,
the Deep of Night is a battlefield of endless night. Victory will increase your rating, burnishing your depth. The darkness exceeds into infinity. The Depth of Night has been added to the expedition menu. Targets cannot be chosen and difficulty increases with depth. A victory increases your rating, allowing you to proceed unto ever greater depths. The boundless dark stretches out into infinity. I wonder if we're gonna get like a whole new map with this, or like a boss rush mode. As you venture into the Deep of Night, your ratings will change based on your victories and losses. When you reach the certain rating threshold, your depth will increase. If you continuously lose rating, your depth will be reduced, but once you have reached depth 2, you cannot return to depth 1. Alright, let's keep going.
essentially what this looks like, based on the text alone, is a new form of expeditions in a sort of ranked mode. So based on how you play, you will gain rank, and as your rank increases, you will descend into new stages of depths going 1 through 5. And as this depth increases,
I wonder if it's like you could get to depth 5 off one single run, or you have to gradually try to get there. You'll be matched by players of the same depth, but the pool of eligible players will be expanded to include players with different depths after a certain amount of time. So it's good that there's a small pool that you're allowed to play with, like skill-based matchmaking, but if no one's procking up, the pool is just going to grow and you're able to get people probably from lower depths. It's pretty cool.
The difficulty of the runs increases in kind. This mode can also only be played online, and we don't yet know exactly how the difficulty increases, or if it's going to work in solos, duos, or trios. Now, like I said, since I posted that last video, a lot more about this mode has come out, with players even being able to activate it in-game and commence an expedition. And I'll show you there are some things about this mode that are different than standard expeditions. Now, obviously, when it comes to stuff like this, I can't actually show any of it on screen, or this video will likely get taken down, but I will describe it to you to the best of my ability. Now, the first thing that was noticed after they restored this mode, when commencing into Deep of Night, as the text said, you do not get to choose your target, but one thing that is different is that in a Deep of Night run, you now get to use 6 relics at a time. However, the slots 4 through 6 are designated to new Deep relics, which will be unlocked by playing the mode. And we saw a few of these, which are similar to regular relics, however they seem to have an additional bonus perk. Now, I'm not sure if you get to just straight up load in with 6 relics, or if you have to unlock them as your depth increases, but yes, in this mode, you will have 6 relics somehow. Now, another thing that's different about Deep of Night, one way that the difficulty of this mode will be increased, is that many of the mobs can turn into red eye versions. Now, occasionally you can see these on normal runs, but it looks like entire dungeons will be full of red eye monsters. And this is subject to change, but as it is...
See, so it doesn't increase too much, but at depth 5, they have 1.8 times health, and then they have attack even bosses, I assume, or maybe these are all the red eye ones, but it's like 2.9, almost 3 times as much attack power. It's gonna be crazy, man.
Currently in the files, here you can see the modifiers of the red eye mobs. At depth 1, red eye mobs have 1.3 times HP and 1.3 times attack, and then up at depth 5, they have 1.8 times HP and 3 times attack. Now that could very easily change whenever the mode actually comes out, but that's what it looks like right now. Now, another thing that's special about these red eye mobs is that they have a chance to drop red rarity drops. Now, these red rarity drops seem to be equivalent to purples in terms of level. However, they will have 2 passive buffs as well as 1 negative effect. So, for example, one that we see is a red rarity coil shield. And
so it's like a corrupted weapon in like games. Like you have It's strong, but there's a side effect to it.
Has 2 buffs, one of which is Flask Healing also restores FP, damage negation up upon landing charge attacks, and then the negative effect that it has is that being near death reduces your art gauge by 45%.
What?
So that's a pretty substantial debuff. But this is really interesting because these weapons are worth investing in if you get really good passive buffs,
Yeah,
but
that's
you
true.
have to consider if that negative is worth taking, and
That's
can you
true.
play around that and change your strategy. So I think that's super interesting
That is
and a really
interesting.
creative way to raise the difficulty aside from just making things stronger and deal more damage. But that's what they've uncovered so far. We don't yet know how that's going to apply to the final night bosses, if there will be things like additional nights or shorter days or anything like that. But as more comes out, we'll be sure to update it here on the channel. Make sure you're subscribed.
So we'll end it there because the rest is spoiler stuff. So here are my speculations on what I think the Deep of Night is going to be. I believe it's going to be a boss rush mode. Since you don't get to pick a Night Lord to go into, I believe the days are going to be shorter and you're going to have a night boss every single night. You're just going to keep cycling through day exploration and a boss. Day exploration, a boss to see how far you can go. And if you die at the night boss, like maybe there's like 5 days that went by, you're at the 5th night boss, and then you die, you get a certain amount of points. That's how I see it. I see it as a boss rush mode. Since they said in the beginning it was going to be like an endless night, so I could see how it just hones you in onto this big expedition that is never ending until you die at a night boss. Or my second speculation is that it is tiered. Like you go through a regular expedition, you're at depth 1, you get a bunch of points, you don't die too much, and then you get increased to depth 2 where things are significantly harder or things are bumped up in the challenge, and you get past that, you collect enough points to boost you into depth 3, and things get harder and harder. You just keep going from there. But I don't think that's it, unless there's like special night bosses. I just feel like this is going to be a boss rush, but I don't feel like my second option works. What do you guys think? I feel like this is going to be a boss rush mode to see how far you could push yourself, how far you could go. Maybe there's limited flask. We'll see. Maybe you can't generate flask at a certain point to really push you to the next level. We'll see. I don't know. We get 3 additional relics. Anything is up for the table. But I believe in my heart that it's going to be a boss rush mode to really push us. Days are going to be shorter, so there's more exploration to do once you defeat like the day 1 boss, and then you explore on day 2. So there's like little chunks that you can explore during the day. That's how I think it's going to be. But who knows? I just don't see how you could do a regular expedition and just keep going and going like that unless there are some negatives behind it. Like there's no real Night Lord unless the Night Lord is completely random. So you go through 3 days and the Night Lord at day 3 is completely random and you'll get to choose. I don't know. We'll see. Those are my 2 speculations, but I'm really putting my finger down on this is a boss rush mode. Things are going to be quite different than a regular expedition. Let me know what you guys think. Or do you guys think it's going to be a boss rush mode? Or do you think it's going to be tiered regular expeditions and maybe it's a different Night Lord? Maybe there's a random Night Lord at the end of day 3? We'll see. It'll be cool to see a boss rush mode to really push the pace. Just like a roguelike, a true roguelike. To see how far you could push it, and if you die, you die. You get a certain amount of points, and then that ascends you to the next level or depth. We'll see. Those are my speculations. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, give a subscribe. It means a lot to me. Make sure that you take care of yourself. Make sure that you are smiling bright today. Look after yourself. Look after others that you care about, because that's number 1. Love you guys to pieces. Until next time. Peace.